Guys, our man Shannon Sharpe is taking loss after loss after loss. First, we all know that Shannon paid Gabriella Zuniga tens of millions of dollars to settle that lawsuit. So many people thought it was so crazy that he got extorted by this 19-year-old. You'll remember that she was the one texting Shannon that it would be $25,000 per cheek. She was texting Shannon saying, "Hey, what's taking so long? Where's the cash?" This is the girl sending Shannon text saying, "I want you to choke me, daddy," and then turned around and filed a $50 million lawsuit claiming that he was choking her. Oh, it was pure extortion, and it worked. Reports say that she got over $20 million from the lawsuit. Shannon's almost 60 years old, but this young 20-something is laughing all the way to the bank at his expense. It's interesting also that a lot of people were calling Shannon Sharpe out for the way that he treated Gabriella Zuniga versus the way that he treated his own daughter. People noted that he was paying Miss Zuniga tens of thousands of dollars, which turned into millions, but would only pay a small amount for his own daughter's wedding.
I don't know what you could have. I ain't the one getting married.
Oh, come on now, Unc. Why you gonna do your daughter like that now? You're paying the white girl. Oh,
I don't give
come on, Unc. Our man Unc was wilding out. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference? Why do you think that Gabriella Zuniga deserves so much more than your own daughter?
But that's why, and people wonder why they don't get the blessings that someone else. Ask yourself.
What?
See, you think you're doing everything right, but see, God know your heart. See, you can fool everybody else, but you can't fool that man upstairs, and you wonder why. Ask yourself. Ask yourself when you're alone and you by yourself.
All right, shout out to Unc. He's saying some people deserve blessings and other people don't, and you gotta ask yourself when you're alone. And that's fine, that's all good, but look at what has become of Shannon Sharpe. Not only did he have to pay Zuniga tens of millions of dollars, but it came out yesterday that he has been fired from ESPN. Guys, the amount of money that Shannon Sharpe has lost over this girl is insane. Not only was he paying the $25,000 per cheek here and there, but then the $20+ million to settle the lawsuit. Then he lost the ESPN contract, which was tens of millions of dollars more. This man alone has lost generational wealth for his entire bloodline. And now on top of that, guess what? He's getting sued for another $20 million, and he's gonna pay. Mark my words, Shannon Sharpe is gonna pay off this lawsuit. Now, is he gonna pay the whole $20 million? No, we saw from the Gabriella Zuniga lawsuit that that's not how the game is played. The women ask for a high amount, Shannon Sharpe comes in low, and then they meet somewhere in the middle. Now we have another woman, the opposite of Miss Zuniga. This woman, an older black woman, she's gonna get her slice of the pie too. Let's take a look here and see what is going on. It says here, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $20 million after the former ESPN star shamed a woman over a viral flirty video with Usher. All right, here is our man Shannon right here. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the plaintiff. This is the woman that is suing Shannon Sharpe for the $20 million. All right, the exact opposite of Miss Zuniga. This woman appears to be in her 40s, and of course she's African American. Zuniga, 19 years old and a white woman. But listen, Shannon Sharpe is going to pay out all of these women apparently. All right, if we go back up, it seems that, let's see, the woman claims that Shannon Sharpe and Ocho's on the hook too, knowingly propagated a false narrative about the woman's marital status. Says here that Sharpe, 57, just settled a $50 million lawsuit. He was officially let go of ESPN. In this lady's complaint, it says that on April 2nd, I participated in a fan engagement moment at a Usher Raymond concert where I interacted with the artist as a selected audience member. The interaction quickly went viral after fans noted the intensity between Tillman and Usher in the fun moment. And I think if we scroll up, we can see that moment right there. All right. right? There is the one and only, the talented Usher Raymond, and there is the plaintiff right there, hot and sweaty, ready to go. I think someone said, auntie, please, okay? And now what's the issue? She's having her moment with the one and only Usher Raymond, so what could have went wrong? As we scroll down, the plaintiff says, following the event, the defendants Ochocinco and Shay Shay made and disseminated false and defamatory statements suggesting that I was married and that my husband was filing for divorce due to my participation in this audience experience. I am not married, nor am I currently going through a divorce. She went on to explain, I was not married at the time of the fan participation moment during the Usher concert. Now on Twitter, guys, a lot of people are saying, come on, lady. Now you're asking for 20 million. You don't deserve it. This is a frivolous lawsuit. He didn't defame you. It was all jokes. But is that really the case? Did Shannon Sharpe defame this woman by saying that she was married when she really wasn't, and saying that her husband, who doesn't exist, was going to file divorce papers? To really analyze this, we need to have a little understanding of what defamation is. Here, guys, we can look at the 5 elements of defamation. Elements we can think of as just ingredients. If you have all 5 of these ingredients, all 5 of these factors, then you have defamation. So we're going to go through these quickly, and you tell me, do you think Shannon Sharpe is on the hook? The first element that you need is identity. So you must be able to prove that the statement in question is about you. Now we can see here from the picture that is obvious that this is the lady that they're talking about. So that's an easy element that she can check off. Then we go to the second publication. It says the statement must be published, meaning a third party must have seen, read, or heard about it. Guys, we know this to be true as well. This actually went viral. Millions of people saw Club Shay Shay talking about this lady and what her husband was going to do with these divorce papers. So we have identity here, and we also have the publication. Again, it went viral. Third is negligence. It's the third factor. You must prove the statement was made with a reckless disregard for the truth or negligently. Now, did Shannon Sharpe and Ocho, did they know this lady wasn't married, or did they just not care? Did they research it? Were they kind of being like journalists and fact checked it? Or did they just recklessly spout out these statements about this lady? You tell me in the comments, do you think that Shannon Sharpe recklessly disregarded whether or not this lady was actually married or not? Before we go any further, let's kind of delve into this negligence a little bit. Let's see what the article says about this whole situation. Now, the lady goes on to say that Shay Shay's and Ochocinco's false narratives were shared widely across their platforms, reaching millions of followers. Yes, and I think she tried to refute those false narratives, but their reach is so wide. The woman, who is a global director for the Harold Washington Cultural Center, said she even went on national media shows to refute the allegations from the ESPN First Take star that she was a married woman. All right, what else did the lady say? Ochocinco and Club Shay Shay continued to post the defamatory content across their social media platforms. I made numerous efforts to contact the defendants to request the removal of this false narrative, but these requests were disregarded. The single mother added, single mother, okay, I don't know why that was important, but the single mother added that the false statements have caused significant harm to my character and reputation. All right, guys, this is very important. Hold up, let's pause for a second for a quick word from our sponsor, Chapter Medicare. If you or someone you love is on Medicare, this matters. The Department of Justice just revealed a huge fraud case against top Medicare brokers, accusing them of steering seniors to plans paying the highest kickbacks and not the plans best for them. I've seen firsthand how confusing and frustrating Medicare can be. When I faced my own cancer diagnosis, even with my decades of legal experience, navigating the healthcare system felt impossible. That's exactly why I am partnering with Chapter Medicare. Chapter searches through every available Medicare plan to find the one truly tailored to your doctors, your prescriptions, questions and your budget, completely unbiased and free. On average, seniors who've worked with Chapter saved over $1,100 a year. So if you want straightforward, unbiased help, call Chapter right now at 572-243-0163 or visit askchapter.org/lead. It's quick, it's free, and it could save you hundreds. The number's right here on the screen, 572-243-0163. Give yourself peace of mind today. If we take a look at our chart, what does this lady need to prove? She needs to prove the identity, that it's her. We got that. She needs to prove the publication. She can do that. It went viral. But the negligence again, she needs to prove that the statement was made with reckless disregard for the truth or negligently. Did Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco make these statements recklessly? Did they disregard the truth? Well, I think they did, right? She's not married. She went on numerous TV shows apparently to try to prove that she wasn't married. She contacted them in numerous ways, according to her, to let them know that she was not married, and they disregarded all of her communications. This lady was pretty serious about trying to clear this up, but it all went to no avail. Now I can tell you, we can kind of go a little bit deeper in the weeds about whether this lady is famous, whether she's a public figure or not. I'll just tell you pretty quickly that if you're a public figure, it's much harder to win these defamation cases because you're putting yourself out there in public. But the law says that if you're a private figure, then it's much easier to win on these claims. So even though she was pulled up on stage at this Usher event, and even though she went on news media to try to correct the narrative, the law is probably going to consider her a private figure, and that's going to make this a lot easier for her to win. So I think she's got the negligence factor too. The law is going to try to protect her a little bit because she's a private person, and you have Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco who have millions and millions of followers and subscribers on their platforms making content about this lady who is not putting herself out there to be ridiculed like this. The fourth element is falsity. She's going to need to prove that the statement that she was married during this time was false. She's going to need to prove that her husband is not filing divorce papers against her. She's going to need to prove that those statements are all false. That's going to be easy for her. She's going to be able to testify that she's not married, and then Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco are not going to be able to produce a marriage certificate showing that she was married at the time of the event. The last element is harm, all right? She's going to need to prove that the statement caused material or reputational injury. Now again, this is going to kind of depend on whether she's considered a public figure or a private figure. Not to get too deep into it, but if she's considered a private figure, it's going to be easier for her to prove damages. We're going to continue to read the article, but what do you guys think right here? Has she shown identity, that the statement was about her? Has she shown that the statement was published? Has she shown that the statement was made in a reckless disregard for the truth? Has she shown that the statement was false? Can she show that? And can she show that the statement caused material or reputational harm? For this last one, it's still a little up in the air. Let's see what the article says. This lady continues that the ongoing misinformation has resulted in emotional distress for the plaintiff, damaging her reputation and adversely affecting her personal and professional relationships. Now, guys, I know when we hear all emotional distress, we think, oh, forget it, it's all made up. But if this lady is a professional, I think she was the director at some center, and people are saying, hey, that's the lady that was up there with Usher. Did you know she's married? Did you know her husband is looking at filing a divorce? Her husband was so mad. How do you know her husband was mad? Well, that's what Club Shay Shay said. That's what Ochocinco said. She was up there dancing and looking deep into Usher's eyes. Can you believe this, helpful? I absolutely believe that there could have been a lot of whisperings behind her back from people who tangentially knew her, but didn't know if she was married or not. This actually could have hurt her reputation, guys. The article continues that the woman is a Chicago native whose previously homeschooled daughter received her doctorate while still, what? Her daughter received a doctorate while still a teenager, and she taught her daughter. All right, this is a very important fact. Guys, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but it shows you that this lady here is serious. Despite what we are seeing on the screen, this lady's about 3 inches from Usher's face. This lady homeschooled her daughter, and while her daughter was in high school, her daughter earned a doctorate degree. That lets you know that this daughter has some serious intellectual intellectual genes, and some of those surely belong to the mom, who again is some director of some center. The mom took it upon herself to homeschool the daughter, didn't let the daughter go to public or private school, brought the daughter up herself. What does that mean? To me as an attorney, this means that this lady is not going away. Despite what we might think, this lady is not one of those, oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back type of plaintiffs. Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco are dealing with a very serious person. This is not a game. Again, this has nothing to do with the actual defamation case, but I'll tell you as a little tip that attorneys were always sizing up the plaintiffs. Is this person for real or not? Is this person educated or not? Is this person serious or not? Can we blow them off? Can we ignore them? This lady apparently is not to be ignored. She has the capability to really go hard on this case. All right, so the article continues that the U.S. Sun has reached out to Shannon Sharpe's attorneys for comment. In a conversation with the U.S. Sun, Tillman added, "We've been in communication with the legal team of Shay Shay Media, who was also representing Shannon Sharpe." All right, so now the woman is talking to Shannon Sharpe's legal team. The woman says that they're looking to resolve this matter quickly, and we will probably have more to share upon our next conversation. Guys, this sentence right here tells you all that you need to know. If this is true, this lady's saying that Shannon Sharpe's legal team is looking to resolve this matter quickly. Does that remind us of anything? Is that similar to another lawsuit that we heard about just a few months ago? I don't know if you guys remember, but when Shannon Sharpe was hit with this $50 million lawsuit, his attorney came to social media and said, "We didn't even know she was filing this. We were trying to get this resolved quickly under the table without anybody knowing. We had offered Gabriela Zuniga over $10 million to settle. We were in active negotiations and they just went and filed this. This has taken us by complete surprise." So we already see that Shannon Sharpe was trying to resolve that Gabriela Zuniga case quickly and under the table. And now Tillman is saying they're trying to do the same thing with this case. Why are they trying to resolve it? Again, if we look at the factors, this lady may have a really strong case. She can prove that the statement was about her. She can prove that the statement was published. She can prove probably that the statement was made in reckless disregard of the truth because she's not married, and I don't think that Shannon or Ocho really investigated to see if she was married or not. She can prove that the statement was false, and she can prove damages, I believe. She can prove some reputational injury because it's going to be easier for her to prove these things since the law is going to consider her to be a private person. Guys, the law is pretty clear that when you're a private person, people can't really play with your name like that. We can sit back and say, oh, Ochocinco and Shay Shay, they were just joking, and they were. But the law says, hey, you need to be careful when you joke on private people's names. If you want to joke on somebody famous, if you want to go at Monique or you want to go at one of these celebrities, fine. They've got big platforms. They can defend themselves. But these private people, they don't have an audience. So when you spread a rumor like this, it can really affect them because it's so hard for them to refute it. This lady may be able to prove, as she said, that she tried to contact Shannon Sharpe's team numerous times to get them to take down the clips. They would not do it. She wanted them to take down the entire episode. They would not do it. She wanted them to issue a retraction. They would not do it. They disregarded all of her communications. Now, maybe they didn't get them. Maybe she was sending emails to an inbox that was never checked. We're going to have to kind of figure out the details on this. But it seems like Shannon Sharpe saying, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and settle with you. We're talking to your team. We want this quickly. I've already lost the ESPN deal. I've already got hit for $20 million with Gabriela. Let's just settle this for a small amount. And it's my belief that that's what's going to happen. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco should have to pay this lady any money? Were they just joking? Or do you think, hey, you shouldn't be able to joke like this on regular people's names if they're not asking for it? What do you think? Let me know. If you were the judge in this case, would you order Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco to pay any money? And if so, how much would you order to pay them? Put your answers in the comments below.
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!